Test, test. All right. Let's see if anybody joins. In the meantime, let me go post that this has started. Meeting starting. Community encouraged. Doesn't encouraged. Would be great to get to know people. Y'all. Everyone. Bam. We can talk shop, trade war stories. I'll be on for an hour. I'll be working on my tax app until actually, yeah, I'll just be working on my tax app. All right, let me go work on my tax app. Is my tax app up and running? No, it is not. Oh, that's cool. So it says cljs reconnecting when it's not working. Is this window? It's almost the right size. All right, let me try. Go back here. Open up the file source, USA 1040 input labeler, note.org. I don't even know what's in here right now. All right, extract all transform info. I think I actually transform. I don't know why I said transform here. Are people, I don't have like a lobby or anything, do I? No. Okay, I think I'm okay then. Oh, I wonder, do I need to flip my camera? Camera mirror my video? I don't know. I think the way that it is now is how it should be. All right, let me turn on line numbers. Bam. Working on the tax app. It's in ClojureScript. Alrighty. So maybe I'll just continue doing my recode thing. Looks like things are good and running. Actually, I'll post the link in the other thing too. There's two different Discords. Let me go to the other Discord. Maybe I should start a Matrix channel about it, since I like Matrix so much. Wants to can join me for the next hour here for community building. I'll be working on my tax app. Tax.each.do is the current live version. Maybe I should put up, do this every, let's say every Thursday. I'll be here every Thursday, same time. Do I want to do this every Thursday? Yeah. Is it Thursday? It is, right? Yeah, okay, cool. Alright, I'll be here every Thursday, same time. Should I just actually do it? Nah. Okay, so go there, go into the source app core.cljs, start a session, cljs, shadow cljs. I think it's going to ask me. Oh, okay, cool, yeah. I think out of those options, yeah, I want the shadow option. And then app, I think. Visit blah in a browser. I think I can just go to this page and hit refresh. Hey, cool. That is exactly what I wanted. Cool. All right, let me go back down here. No, I don't need to visit that in a browser. Unfortunately, nobody can be told what CIDR is. You have to figure this out for yourself. I mean, I did try reading docs, and it was a lot harder to figure it out than just to do it. That's true. All right, so that looks good, and that looks good. I think I got all the way through this draw rect. It occurs to me that it would be, in order to do this in a truly functional way, there'd have to be some way to undo each of these operations so that I could, well, efficiently, in order to do this efficiently, there'd have to be some way to undo individual operations, I think, like individual rectangle drawing operations. Because if there isn't a way to undo, then I'd have to, in order to like try drawing a rectangle and then try drawing a different rectangle instead, I'd have to redo all of the steps to get the painting buffer to where it is. So like drawing, in order to undo this rectangle here, I'd have to, or this rectangle, I can undo it like this. I think what it is doing right now is repainting this entire canvas, and then either sending in the highlight command and painting this part of the buffer green or not. And it, like every time I mouse over anything, it's redrawing the entire thing. Maybe it's doing it. Maybe that is what's happening, and I don't really have to worry about how fast it does it because it's so fast that I can't tell how fast it's doing. Like that, I can't tell that it's spending any time on it. So I guess maybe I don't need to worry about that. Yeah. All right. So let's go. Let's look at draw field highlight, which takes in a context, a field, a page height, a scale, and a color. So this is when we want to highlight a field. So I think what that means is an input field. So like this area right here, if I click on it, now it's highlighted. And then if I click away, if I click on it, it's highlighted, and if I click away, it stops highlighting. And if I mouse over it, it highlights. And if I move my mouse out of the bounding box, it goes away. Actually, I should be able to, I guess it's kind of hard to tell exactly where the mouse is, but because the border is 3 pixels wide, it disappears before the mouse is entirely off the border. Boop, boop. Anyway, let's see if I can recode the code. So I guess this takes in a string at this spot, and that string has a 0.4, which is going to be replaced with a 0.2. Let's go find where drawRect is called. Okay. It is not called with a string. Oh, what position was that? So it's not called with a string literal, so I'll have to, let's see, this is position 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so the thing at spot 6 and go find where drawRect is called. So it's after height, height. So that's the color, which I probably could have, yeah, color. Alrighty, let me go see where color gets its value from. So draw text highlight. Where does that get a value from for the color? That color comes from there. Color, get rainbow color. Oh, I remember that from way up here. Yeah, defen get rainbow color, nth rainbow colors. So it gets it from here. So, okay. So it's replacing this 0.4, the RGBA. The A is a 0.4. The alpha channel is 0.4. So it's being replaced with a 0.2 there. 0.2. Okay, so I think I think the alpha channel goes from 0 to 1, and 0 means completely transparent. It's either one end is transparent and the other one is opaque. So I'm going to try 0 there, and then I will go to the page and refresh and see what happens. Okay, yeah. So 0 is transparent and 1 is probably opaque. Let's try that. Bam. Refresh. Completely opaque. Yeah. Cool. Oh, and then you can see the border is slightly less saturated. Whoa. Well, maybe you can see it. I can see it. Nope. Scroll. Okay. Zoom. Yeah. Border is slightly less opaque. Cool. Control 0, I think. Oh no. That is not what I wanted. Control. Oh, 0? There we go. Okay, cool. Yeah, okay. We go back to the code. So that's what those numbers mean. Just put that back to a 0.2. So I guess when we do the field highlight, we're going to draw a rectangle on the field, and that is going to be slightly more transparent, less opaque than the default is for these rainbow colors. Yeah, I kind of want to have a function that like generates one of these strings based on a map. I guess it's fine. And then doing string replace. Instead of doing string replace, I would do replace the alpha channel with, instead of a 0.4, a 0.2. Maybe I should go make that change right now. Just because it would be pleasing. I'll eval the buffer, yes. Oh, I don't have line numbers on. All right, cool. No real reason to eval the buffer. I just kind of like that, knowing that this is that it's like connected to the evaluation so nicely. But yeah, okay. So we'll string replace color with the color string. The part that says 0.4, we'll replace it with a 0.2. And then we'll send the result of that into as the new color for drawing. So yeah, let me just comment that. So replace the string colors, the color string portion that says 0.4 with a 0.2. Alrighty, let's try that out. Stir / replace color 0.4, 0.2. Let's try, go back here, refresh. How'd we do? Looks good. Can I still click on stuff? Yes. Whoop. Okay. Yeah, and it stays, everything stays good. And if I click out here, now I get the, yeah, okay, cool. All right, seems good. So I can definitely code that line. We got here call draw rect with context x, xy with height, color. Oh, wait a minute. Color and color? Oh, right, because draw rect takes in two different colors, the stroke and the fill, I think. Yeah, fill and stroke color. Cool. Okay, so 0.2 color, and so that's the, oh, which of those colors? So defen draw rect. So the fill comes first, then the stroke. Okay, so 0.2. So this is the fill, then the stroke. So the fill is slightly lighter. Change it from a 0.4 to a 0.2, and the stroke, the border, I guess, is slightly opaquer. Draw with XY color, so the lighter color and border color. Inside color, border color. Yeah, let's try redoing all this code. Draw rect. It takes a context, an x, a y, a width, a height, and then it takes a replace color, the part that says 0.4 with a 0.2, that'll be that, and then the color. That all fits on one line. I feel like I messed up. Let's see what happens. No, it seems alright. Why did I have that on multiple lines? I don't know. Alright, everything seems to be fine. I think now I want to go back and see what it looked like. Yeah, it's just draw rect. I don't know why I put that on multiple lines, but it seems fine on one line. Cool. And then figuring out what the x, y, width, and height are. X, width, and height are just the field, x, width, and height, scaled. And then this one is flip the y-axis, translate up or down by page height, then, or no, translate up by page height. I guess it depends on which direction the x-axis was to begin with. And then get the y2 out of the field. So I guess fields have a y2. They probably have an x, a y, an x2, and a y2. But this y2 is very similar to, where is it? The calculation done here, y plus height. So if we are at the bottom, we go to the top of the text field or the rectangle. And if we're at the top, we go to the bottom, depending on which direction this is. At some point, I'll figure out which direction is which. All right, so we've redone all of those. So we're almost, so we're here. So I want to x, y, no, not y, width and height are direct from field. Y is axis flipped and translated by page height. Okay, Let's take that comment, put it there, and let's see if I can recreate all of that. So we want let x is, oh yeah, and then everything is scaled. Everything is scaled by scale. So we got times scale, then we'll take the x part of the field, that's the x, y is scale, flip the axis, go translate by page height, and get the y2 from the field. There we go, xy width, take the scale, grab the width from the field, xy width height, scale it, get the height from the field, okay, square, and then what do we want to do here? We're going to draw a rect with context xy with height, and the fill color, which is going to be string replace. The color, where it says 0.4, we'll replace it with 0.2, and the stroke color is just the color. Alrighty, let's go back here, try refresh, see what happens. Looks like everything works. Nailed it, first try, rad. Alrighty, moving on. Draw text highlight. So this is going to be very similar to draw field highlight, except the way that we grab the y-axis is going to be different. Is that the only change? Oh, and the colors will be slightly different. Every text field gets highlighted with the color unmodified, so the 0.4 version of the color. And there is no border. Although I suppose I could put the reverse border here. So it replaces 0.4 with a 0.6. Or no. Yeah. Wait, is the border more transparent or less transparent? Oh, no. This is the fill color. This is the border color. So if I make the border color to do the opposite of what I do up here, or for the code to do the opposite of what it does, it would need to do, have a slightly more opaque border color. So this one is the fill color, and then this one is the stroke color. Oh, that's cool. It actually says that down at the bottom. I didn't notice that a moment ago. Let me double check eval buffer. This still works. Everything looks good. Yeah, okay, cool. All right, so then I'm going to try redoing this whole thing. It's called draw text highlight. Draw text highlight. And everything is exactly the same as this one, except for this and the color. So fill color is color, and stroke is nil. And then y, is y and height. Okay. Is that enough? Maybe. Let's find out. Defn draw text highlight, which takes in a context, an x, a y, a width, a height, and a color. Was there something else? Oh, the text. Oh, what place does it have? What position was it at? It probably mirrors this one, so wherever field is. So field. Oh, right. It doesn't take in x, y, width, and height. It takes in text, or no, text. What was it called? item? Shoot. Item. Okay, yeah. So takes in item, and then context, item, page height, scale, and color. Skull. Alrighty. Let's see. Let's take this and go item, page height, scale, and color. That all seems good. And then we'll do let x is going to be get the scale and multiply it by the x part of the item. Y is going to be scale up the result of flipping the y-axis, translating by page height, and then getting the y of the item and the height of the item. That all seems good. XY width is take scale on the width of the item. XY width height, get the scale, multiply that by the height of the item. And that's the last thing. Now we'll do draw rect context XY width height color nil. I think that's right. Let's go look at the web page and see. Yep, seems good. If I click, 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 yep, seems like everything's working. Cool. So that's that one. I think I get how it works. I'm pretty happy with the way that it works. Draw text bands. Oh, actually, I want to try one more thing. So here I'll do string replace the color, the part where it says 0.4, and I'll replace it with a 0.6, and we'll see what that looks like. So now there's a border around the text boxes and the input fields. I don't know, like, should I call these text boxes, items, text items? And then these things are these input fields. They're called fields in the code. These things are called items in the field. The parts that actually have text are called items. I don't know. And I don't really need that border, so I'm going to take that away. Let's see, yeah, that looks fine. I don't know if I need a border around this either. I don't know, it's fine. Draw text bands. What does that do, I wonder? Draw text bands. What function is this? Draw existing association highlights with bands for multi-assoc texts. Bands. I don't know what that means. Let me go back here. So if I associate something with more than one thing, is that what it is? No, that doesn't look like it's doing anything. I don't see like a band going around the outside. I don't know what it means. I don't know what that means. Is that the only place that it's used? Yeah, it looks like it. And again, it's a get the X, get the Y, width, height. Oh, I know what this is. Yeah, okay. So if a text field is associated with more than one, so this text here is associated with this input and with this input, and it's banded. It's like got a green band on it and a purple band on it. And that is so that I can tell that it's associated with both this and this. And then I should be able to do that, and then click there, and do that, and click there, and now you can see it's associated with all four of these. I think I'm not gonna keep that. I'm just gonna make it so that I can associate um, any number of text fields and inputs, mostly because of this sentence right here. So that sentence right there, let me unhighlight that, is super annoying. It's not the only place, but it's a pretty good example of it. There isn't really a good way, like if I want to have this filled in, it doesn't really make sense for the prompt to be just 2024 ending and then have a blank field. If somebody just said 2024 ending to me, I wouldn't know what that means. I sort of need the beginning here. This is all like a fill in the blank sentence. For the year January 1st through December 31st, 2024, or other tax year beginning blank 2024, ending blank 20 blank. Like I really like, and this one even more so. If I just saw 20 and then I was asked to respond, I wouldn't know what that means. I really need the entire rest of the sentence. So I need a way of grouping multiple texts with multiple input fields, and the multiple input fields also need to be grouped together. So like it's not enough just to say that this text here is associated with this input label, it's also associated with this input label, it's also associated with this input label. Like I don't think that's enough. I would need to show more than just this part and then a blank and then this and then a blank and then 20 and then blank. I would really want to see what the answer was to this part and this, like, I want to see the whole sentence all at once. So I really need to say all of these inputs and text text labels go together as one thing. I don't know what to call that thing. Prompt, one prompt, sure. But yeah, so for now, I'll just figure out how this coding works because I think it's probably like the logic of how to figure out what colors to put on here is going to be helpful either way. Um, like it's going to be helpful even if I end up not actually doing this banding. It's going to be helpful because I'm still going to want. Actually, maybe not. If I end up grouping text fields and labels all together, then maybe, oh no, yeah, there is actually a case of where a single text gets associated with multiple input fields, and I don't need all of the input fields all at once. There's, like for example, here, I guess if I just had the prompt single. No, I need all of these checkboxes to be part of the same input prompt now that I think about it. And then all of these the checkboxes would all be grouped together as well. Yeah, so maybe that's not a counter or an example of a different kind of where I would need something to be associated, some text to be associated with more than one input field. Let's see. I guess this text here could be associated with every one of these input fields. Yeah, okay. And these input fields are not related to each other. Like I wouldn't prompt this one at the same time as prompting for input on this one. These are going to be two separate individuals. So here's one individual, here's another individual. It doesn't make sense when getting information from this individual to also display the input from this individual. Actually, yeah, it does. When I'm filling it out, I'm probably going to want to see my answers to prior questions. so that I know, like, say I have, I think this is for children dependents. Yeah. So if I fill out 3 children and I forget which of the 3 I've filled out and I need to put in the 4th child, it would be helpful to see the previous children. Yeah, so maybe I never need anything other than being able to group a bunch of input fields and a bunch of labels together. And maybe it will never be helpful to know what the logic is for banding. I think that might be the case. I don't know, I can't decide. I will go through it anyway because I think it's kind of neat. Again, so we'll go when sequence of colors. So when colors is a sequence. So I guess sometimes this is called, and colors probably is nil sometimes. Then we can get the x, y, total width, height, number of bands, and then the bandwidth is going to be the total width divided by the number of different bands there are. Yeah, that makes sense. And then we'll do for everything, for every color in colors, map vector range, map vector across range and colors. Can't I do like map indexed or something? Do seek indexed? I know there's an indexed, keep indexed, but I guess maybe there's not a do seek indexed. That's interesting. I wonder, is there an enumerate? Enumerate? Nope. What is this enumeration sequence? What does that do? Try this. Is it a function that I can call? Enumeration seek. No. Enumeration. No, it's not in here. Well, now I'm curious why it's popping up with enumeration seek. Is it a function in Emacs? Enumeration seek. No. It's a closure thing. I don't know. I'll have to look that up separately. Actually, I could try looking it up in this tiny browser. Okay. Clojure enumeration seek. Enumeration seek. Available since 1.0, so it's enumeration seek, exciting example. Java.util.string tokenizer, exciting example. Exciting example. So it calls this function on this input, and then you get this. I don't know. Maybe this is an iterator, and you got to call it over and over again. Does it have returns a seek on a java.util.enumeration? Oh, enumeration. What is a java.util.enumeration? Whoa, a parallel distinct using Clojure. Oh, I can't scroll sideways. Can I highlight sideways? Okay. Parallel distinct using concurrent hash map as a set of keys to get rid of duplicates. Okay. Enumeration seek dot keys. Okay. Parallel distinct. Many repeating numbers, i.e. 6. Okay. Okay. All right, I'm not really sure what exactly this is good for. I think I could go look into what exactly an enumeration is, but I think I'll just go back out of this and back up to here. Um, and okay, so we got map vector range colors. That's a cool thing to do. This map vector range and then a collection gives you something like this. This is kind of like enumerate in Python. I don't think there is something like this in JavaScript. But okay, yeah, so let's go. So we're gonna draw a rectangle with context, and then what is this? So this is the x, the y, the width, the height, the color, and then nil. So the x is, oh, whatever the starting x is, and then go over by however wide a band is, and then that's the x, and then the y, how tall it is. It's not split vertically, so the height is just the regular height. And the y-axis always starts at wherever it starts. So the height is always the height, and the y-axis starts wherever it starts. The band width, bandwidth, and the color is just whatever the color is. And yeah, so we want to draw a rect with x offset by which band is drawn. The x offset by and the width of a band. Okay. Everything else seems to be good. We got color. Yeah. Can I do it? Draw rect, which takes in a context, and then the x value is going to be take the original x value and add to it the however many bands we have gone over. So I is the iteration, or no, it's the, what would you call it? Yeah, I guess it's the index variable, the index. And we want to multiply that by however wide a band is. X, Y, width is going to be a band's, wait, I didn't do Y. Y, band width, height. And then after that comes the two colors, color and nil. Let's go back here, close that, refresh. Looks like things work. Cool. Oh, right, and then the whole thing is, yeah, that part still works. Cool. Alrighty. So that's that. And then we'll do that for every single color in colors, where colors is an argument to the function as a whole. Stop it. All right, so, and then we have do seek here because we're performing an action for each one of the elements in this thing. So we have map vector range colors, do something for each color with its index. Isn't that something, there's like with index? No? I could swear there was something like that. First I'll start with this. So we want to map vector over range, damn it, range and colors. Is that right? No, not vect. Vec? Oh, map vec. Is that right? No. Oh, it is vector. Vector? Wow, I'm totally not remembering vector versus vec. What is the difference? Anyway, does that work? Bam, 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 bam. Yeah, looks like it works. Okay. Map vector over range and colors, and that'll give me a bunch of eye color pairs. And we want to do seek on that whole thing. Let's go do seek eye color map vector over range and colors. And then we want to call drawRect, I think, on context. And the x is going to be the result of adding together the original x and then multiplying whatever index we're at by the band width. So that'll give us the x. The y is just the regular y. xy width is going to be the width of a band width, and then height is just going to be the regular height. We have color and nil for the final color. Alrighty. Do. Bam, 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 bam. Cool. Still works. Nailed it. Okay. Actually, I'll leave that there. And then we got x, y. Total width is just the scaled width of the item. Height is the scaled height. And then we have n and band w. So x is x, y is flipped, translate by page height, other side of rect. So like top or bottom. XY total width is width of whole item. Then height, oh yeah, all of these are scaled. Scale all of these. The height is just the height of item. XY width height n. We need to know how many colors is how many colors. XY width band width is how wide each band should be. And there's actually a problem here where things could be off by 1 pixel. Like let's say that the text field is 51 pixels wide, and I divide that by 2 and I get 25.5, and then I round to the nearest pixel. Actually, I don't know what would happen if I try to make, maybe that's okay with Canvas. Maybe Canvas drawing can take in arbitrary precision. Yeah. So maybe that off by 1 pixel thing is only for discrete pixel drawings. And I think I'm not doing discrete pixel drawings here. I'd have to look into exactly how Canvas works to tell. How does Canvas HTML tag work for drawing? Am I drawing an SVG in a Canvas tag? I actually don't know. HTML tag creates a drawable area which is manipulated using JavaScript. You can access the drawing with getContext2D. Use various methods to draw shapes in that area. Yeah, but is the math for drawing in that area discrete or continuous? Or even if it does use floats, it's not going to be completely continuous because floats are not continuous. Canvas ID, blah, blah, blah. Just JavaScript do the drawing. 0 to there. Like, is that a SVG? I wonder, let's see, is it an SVG? Is canvas drawing SVG or bitmap? What is the right term here? Ray? I don't know. Let's see if the AI can figure out what I mean. SVG versus canvas. Is bitmap based, meaning it uses pixels to create images. In contrast, blah is vector based. Vector based, that's what I mean. Or that's what I was trying to remember. Understanding the difference in when to use each. Unlike SVG, canvas renders programmatically using, meaning you can use drop. Wait, SVG doesn't have programmatic? A comparison. Let's see. Two-dimensional image, vector image format relying on the XML standard. Resolution-dependent bitmap canvas for dynamically displaying graphs, some graphics, and other visuals. Oh, man. Okay. Well, okay, so then if the drawing here is pixel-based, bitmap-based, then there could be an off by one error in this, where, yeah, we have like 50 pixels wide and then another 50 pixels wide, and then here at the end we have 1 pixel not filled in. The issue would be we would calculate that the width of a band is smaller than it actually is. So it might not be obvious until you have like a bunch of bands on the same input thing. If I zoom in, zoom, there we go. It doesn't look like it's short on that side. Can I scroll to the other side? Yeah, it doesn't look like it's short on this side. It should be 4. Yeah, it looks like it's going to the same spot. Interesting. Does this side look any different when I add stuff? Oh, I can add that. Oh, I wonder, will that add another band? It does, even though that color is already there. Did that get a little bit shorter? I don't think so. Maybe. Let's go click there. Go back. Okay, it looks like it's like the edge of the Y is just barely touching. And then if I click, yeah, this edge looks like it stayed exactly where it was, and this edge looks like it stayed exactly where it was. I am not sure what's going on. Doesn't matter. Let's do, don't really want to type out all that again, so I'll not include it in the rewrite. Let x is the scaled version of the x field of the item. Y is the scaled version of flipping and translating by page. Height, the y of the item and the height of the item. That's the y. Then we need total width is going to be the scaled width of the item, xy. Total width height is going to be the scaled height of the item, xy width height number, count colors, xy width height, band w is going to be how big is each band, so that's going to be the total width divided by n. So that'll be that, and then we can swallow, refresh. Let's get that back down to normal size. Seems good. That all still works. Cool. Cool. And then we only do all of that when colors is a sequence. Draw, and then here we get colors. So in order to get colors, whoops, we map v over get rainbow color sorted fields. Map v takes in a function and a collection. So this function will get called on each one of these, and then the result gets stored in a vector, and that becomes colors. Why store it in a vector? Couldn't this just be a list? I feel like that could just be a list. Like there's no, I see no reason to use map v here versus map. What happens if I use map? Does it work? Bam, 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 bam. It does. Okay. Then why use map v? I don't know. Does colors get used anywhere else? No, that's the end of that expression. Where does that go? That goes to the let. Wow, this is a huge function, whatever this is. Draw all highlights. I feel like this can probably be broken down. Jeez. Am I? Oh no, that's the next one. Oh shoot. Okay. That's okay. So I've redone draw text bands. I do not. This is gonna take a while to do all these. How long is that? 159, so about 160 to 230. So that's like 40 plus 30, 70 lines. That actually doesn't sound too bad, but it's a single function. What does it even do? I guess I'll find out later. Let's see, we got draw, well, I'll do a little bit of reviewing right now. So we get the state by unwrapping app state. Selected is going to be grab selected from the state, page from page data. Okay. And then items from page data, fields from page data. I feel like instead of having items and fields, I don't know, maybe it makes sense to separate them out like this, but it might make sense to instead keep them like a single list of all of those things, and then no, because we do something different. We put like a band around it. And also we treat input fields different than texts. Yeah, so I guess it does make sense to keep them separated here. Associations in selection mode, so that all comes from the state. Wait, the in selection mode does not come from the state. And selected, oh, it does come from the state. Indirectly? Okay, page equal page num selected page num. Oh, because in theory we could click on something from one page and then click on a different text field on a different page that happens to have the same selected, that happens to have the same name or something. Selected is whatever the selected field is from the state. And then if we're in the selected selection mode, depends on whether the selected thing has the page number as the same page number as the current page. Okay. Draw all highlights. So I guess this gets called once for each page. And I guess the highlights get drawn differently depending on which page is being displayed. Oh, I bet I know what this does. I bet when I start selecting, so if I click on one of these inputs, then as I move over these other text thingies, they highlight the same color as the text field that I currently have selected. So I'm selecting the different texts that are associated with the input field. And maybe if I go to the other page, that doesn't happen. So here I'm on page 2. Yeah, these get highlighted a bunch of different colors. That's kind of weird. I guess in theory I might want to select an input over here on this page and then associate with it a text from this other page, or more likely the other way around. Maybe some input on this page depends on text that comes from the page before. That seems like a mistake. If that's what's going on here, I feel like whether we are in selection mode is just, have we clicked on an input field and not clicked off of the PDF yet? Yeah, I'll probably end up changing that. All right, well, that was a good session. Bye.